Meat Loaf is one of rock's most memorable figures, known for his powerful voice, theatrical performances, and iconic albums like Bat Out of Hell. But one question that has puzzled fans and music lovers alike is the origin of his unique stage name. How did Marvin Lee Aday, the man behind Meat Loaf, come to choose such a peculiar moniker? The story behind the name is as colorful and unexpected as the music he created. Born Marvin Lee Aday on September 27, 1947, in Dallas, Texas, the man who would become known as Meat Loaf had no intentions of becoming a rock and roll legend when he was growing up. His journey to stardom was as unconventional as his stage name. Aday, who was often called Meat by his family due to his size, had a strong connection to music from a young age. He sang in church choirs and even participated in local theater productions. But it wasn't until he moved to Los Angeles in the early 1970s that he began to seriously pursue a career in music. The name Meat Loaf came about as a result of a childhood nickname that stuck with him. According to Aday, the name was first given to him when he was just a young boy. His father, who had a notoriously bad temper, began calling him Meat after he gained some weight as a child. Aday's father would call him Meat in a way that wasn't meant to be affectionate, but rather as a teasing nickname. Later, when he started performing in high school plays and musical productions, the name Meat stuck with him, and people began referring to him by this unusual moniker. However, it wasn't until he was in his 20s that the nickname evolved into Meat Loaf. The exact circumstances of how Loaf was added to Meat remains somewhat unclear, but Aday himself has explained that it came from a combination of his physical size and his affinity for food. Some stories suggest that it was a joke that arose during rehearsals with a local theater group, while others believe it came from his high school football coach, who once told him that he was as big as a meat loaf. Regardless of how it came about, the name stuck, and Aday embraced it as part of his persona. In the 1970s, when Aday began performing with the band Meat Loaf, he found success with the rock opera Bat Out of Hell, produced by Todd Rundgren. The album's theatrical sound, combined with Aday's over-the-top performances and the absurdity of his stage name, captured the imagination of fans. While many musicians were adopting cool, edgy stage names, Meat Loaf's moniker was quirky and self-deprecating, which made it even more appealing. Although the name Meat Loaf may have seemed odd at first, it perfectly suited the theatrical nature of his performances and the larger-than-life persona he built. It was an unforgettable name that made people take notice, and it became synonymous with his distinct musical style, characterized by grandiose rock operas and emotive ballads. Meat Loaf's name was a symbol of his unapologetic embrace of the eccentric, and it resonated with his audience, who appreciated his boldness and theatricality. Throughout his career, Meat Loaf's music and performances became iconic, and his name became part of rock history. Despite the unusual origin, the name Meat Loaf became inseparable from his legacy. His albums, such as Bat Out of Hell and Dead Ringer, are still considered landmarks in rock music, and his influence is undeniable. In conclusion, the name Meat Loaf is a testament to the man behind it, someone who embraced the unexpected and turned it into something extraordinary. What started as a teasing nickname in childhood became a symbol of one of rock's most unforgettable personalities. Marvin Lee Aday may have been dubbed Meat as a child, but it was his transformation into the larger-than-life persona of Meat Loaf that made him a legend. The name may have come from humble beginnings, but it became a moniker that helped define one of rock's most memorable stars.